All right, we have a new set of directions. New flashcard for you. Directions here are use rational exponents to simplify. Assume that variables represent positive numbers. So the fact that we're told to assume that variables represent positive numbers, remember this means we don't have to worry about absolute value bars. But more importantly, let's look at the first sentence of the directions. Use rational exponents to simplify. That's basically two steps. And so we need to understand what that terminology means so that we understand what those two steps are. Use rational exponents. Rational. The first five letters of rational are ratio. Ratios are fractions. So this is saying use fraction exponents. Then simplify it. So it's giving you two steps. The first step is let's use rational exponents. So the first step of this first problem is to say my power is 4, my index is 8, so I'm going to write this as x to the 4/8. Now let's simplify. 4/8 simplifies down to 1/2. Now this is a little bit tricky on how we want to write our final answer, and this is why it's important to make these flashcards. In this problem here, the direction said use rational exponents to simplify. So our final answer should be rational exponents. So I'm going to leave my answer like this. Whereas we know this is equivalent to square root x, that's not what we were asked for. We weren't asked to rewrite this as a radical. We are told to use rational exponents, so it makes more sense to leave our answer as x to the 1/2. Now for the second example, there's a general rule that's important, and you'll notice in your notes that's at the bottom of this example. Whenever there's a number that can be written as an exponent, do so. So the first thing I'm going to do before I even follow my directions on this problem is I'm going to rewrite 25 as 5 squared. Once I do that, then I say my power is 2, my index is 6, so this is 5 to the 2/6. Then I simplify. 2/6 simplifies to 1/3. And that's what I'm looking for. Now this last one's a little bit tricky. I'm taking the 4th root of that whole thing. So if I'm using rational exponents, then what this is saying is to take x squared y to the 6th and raise that whole thing to the 1/4 power. Then I can use the power over a product rule that says take my x squared and raise that to the 1/4 power, and take my y to the 6th and raise that to the 1/4 power. Now I'm raising a power to a power, so I multiply the powers. Then I can simplify. 2/4 simplifies to 1/2. 6/4 simplifies to 3/2. And there's the answer I'm looking for.